looking at velocity time graph now, and we're given a question, and the question says a car moves from rest and accelerates uniformly. Now don't forget I said in our last class that what when a body accelerates uniformly, it means it moves like this. All right, so it accelerates uniformly to a velocity of 20 meters per second in 5 seconds. It then continues at this constant velocity for another 10 seconds before decelerating uniformly to rest in 5 seconds. Draw the velocity time graph for the motion. Calculate the total distance traveled by the car. Now let's analyze this. So don't forget I said this is acceleration, and don't forget this is deceleration, and then this is constant velocity. So we're going to apply what I just said now here. So what do? We're asked to what? Draw the velocity time graph for the motion. So velocity time. All right. Now let's go back to the question again. A car moves from rest. Of course, from rest it means from the 0 point, right? From the origin. So a car moves from rest and accelerates uniformly to a velocity of 20 meters per second. So it accelerates uniformly to what? A velocity of what? 20 meters per second. So this is 20. All right, this is 20. So it accelerates uniformly what? At a rate of 20 meters per second in 5 seconds. In 5 seconds, meaning, don't forget this is the time axis. So in 5 seconds, let's take this down. In 5 seconds, so this is going to be 5. All right, in 5 seconds. It then continues at this constant velocity for another 10 seconds. So constant velocity, I told you constant velocity, this is constant velocity. So it moves for another 10 seconds at constant velocity. All right, at constant velocity. Now, for another 10 seconds before decelerating uniformly to rest in 5 seconds. So it now decelerates uniformly to rest in 5 seconds. So this is deceleration. All right. Now, let's go back to the question. It says a car moves from rest and accelerates uniformly to a velocity of 20 meters per second. This is the 20 meters per second in 5 seconds. It then continues at this constant velocity for another 10 seconds. For another 10 seconds. Now, you're not going to write 10 here. Now, because 5 is already here. What you're going to do is you're going to add 10 to 5, and then this becomes 15. But what you know is that the difference between here and here is 10. Because 15 minus 5 gives us 10. So the difference between here and 10 here is 10. Because they told you that what? It continues at this constant velocity for another 10 seconds before decelerating uniformly to rest in 5 seconds. So it decelerates in 5 seconds. But are you going to write 5 here? No. What are you going to do? 15 is already here. So what are you going to do? 15 plus 5 gives you what? 20. But what you know is that the difference between here and here is what? Is 5. I hope you understand that. Now, let's continue. So it says, draw the velocity time graph for the motion. We've drawn the velocity time graph for the motion. All right? Which is what we've done here. Now, that said, calculate the total distance traveled by the car. Now, take note of this, that the total distance traveled by the car, or in a velocity time graph, the total distance traveled by a body is the total area of the shape that is formed. All right? The total distance covered by a body in a velocity time graph is the total area of the shape that is formed. And if you look at this shape carefully, you see that a trapezium is formed. All right? A trapezium is formed. Now, let's call this A. Let's call this B, and let's call this point C. All right? Now, if you look at a trapezium, let's assume this is a trapezium, and then this is the height. All right? And then this side, from this side to this side is A, and then from this side to this side is B. The area is going to be what? Half into bracket what? A plus B multiplied by H. That means half into this side to this side plus this side to this side multiplied by the height. All right, multiplied by what? By the height. So we're going to apply that here. All right, we're going to apply that here. So what's it going to be? We said that what? The total distance traveled by the car will be equal to what? The area of the shape formed by the motion of the car, by the motion of the car, by the motion of the car. All right, which is what? A trapezium. So a trapezium is formed here. All right, a trapezium is formed. You can see clearly that a trapezium is formed from the graph of this motion. From what we sketch here, we can see clearly that what? A trapezium is formed. So what will be the distance now? The total distance now. The total distance now will be equal to, traveled by the car will be equal to, comparing this with this, is going to be what? Half into A is from here to here. What is from here to here? AB plus B, which is from here to here. This is OC. That's going to be plus OC multiplied by, now what's the height? Now, what is the height here? Trace it back. You see that the height is 20 because from here to here is 20. It means from here to here is 20. From here to here is also 20. So it means the height is going to be what? 20. All right. So finally now, the total distance will be equal to what? Half into bracket. What is AB? AB. What's the difference between here and here? Trace it down. All right. Trace it down. The difference between 5 and 15 is what? 10. So it's going to be 10 plus OC. What is OC? The whole of OC is what? 20 multiplied by what? 20, which is our height, which is the distance from here to here, distance from here to here, distance from here to here. All right. Now, so it now becomes that what? The total distance will be equal to what? Half into bracket what? Into bracket 10 plus 20 gives us what? 30. All right. Multiplied by what? 20. Now, 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here what? 15. Now, 15 times 20 will give us what? 300 meter. All right? 300 meters. So, this is how to get the total distance of the motion of this graph. All right? All right? Or the graph of this motion. All right? This is how to get the total distance. So, the total distance covered by the car in this question is 300 meters. Make sure you like this video, share this video, and hit the subscribe button. And if you have any question, make sure you put it in the comment section and I will do it to give you an answer.